Hello everyone. This is an amazing post because it talks about circumcision. Let's see what Hammond has to say about this. So basically he's asking people for their opinion on circumcision. So circumcision is the surgical removal of the foreskin, which is skin covering the tip of the penis. It's common in the United States and parts of Africa and Middle East, but less common in Europe and some countries, according to recent estimates. Uh, so he talks here about this. I'm not going to read it all, but you can pause this video and read it yourself. Okay? So I think there is, yes, positive benefit to circumcision if there is an abnormality with the penis, some kind of abnormality where there's discomfort or there's something, but that can always be treated with some surgery. But let's look at it from the perspective of nature. Now, of course, we don't live in a perfect world, and a lot of us are born with certain defects because of the fact that our mothers we're eating all sorts of foods, animal foods, and who knows. And so that food is transferred to us, and it creates all kinds of deformities. Not in everyone, of course, but in a lot of children. Also, when we're breastfeeding, that could cause problems if the mother is consuming animal products, dairy, eggs, honey, flesh of animals, etc. And so the only time it is really absolutely necessary to get some kind of surgery is if there's some kind of discomfort or something. And in that fact, I would still keep the foreskin. I would try to figure out a way to rid of that deformity or that discomfort without removing the foreskin. But otherwise, foreskin is necessary. It's there for a reason. It keeps the tip of the penis moist. There's absolutely no benefit other than discomfort and abnormalities and so forth to circumcision. Religious institutions and certain cultures practice this, and I feel that for religious reasons and for other such stupid reasons, it's unethical. If we were born with something such as a foreskin, then leave it be. Leave it be. And in fact, actually, most people, even if they haven't been circumcised, fully circumcised, they have been circumcised to a degree. Because the end of the penis, let me open this image up. The end of the penis, skin, foreskin is supposed to go right over the tip. And in a lot of cases, some people have half of the tip exposed. Some have a little bit more, some have a little bit less, and some have even more skin hanging over the penis. Now, it does make it uncomfortable to go to the washroom to pee because we gotta pull back the skin and pee. But that makes one thing, makes us clean after ourselves each time we go to the washroom. So just, wash it. And all you need basically, especially if you're eating whole foods and, raw food and fruit and things like that, You just need water basically to clean it. That's all really. Maybe some kind of homemade soap or something like once a week, if that. And this is exposing the penis as rubbing against clothing, rubbing against underwear, etc. And it is taking the layers little by little, it's taking the layers off, the layers that we need to protect the tip of the penis. Again, I'm not an expert in this, but these are my views on circumcision. If the foreskin is meant to be there, then it is meant to be there. Just like if our body is like this, why put tattoos on there? Why abuse our bodies? Now, of course, unfortunately, some people have been, forcibly circumcised as children, and they did not choose to. So you can actually either get surgery done to have your foreskin back. So there are various methods and various ways. So research on that. I'm not too familiar with this, but there's also a method that might take even a couple of years to fully complete. And that is something called stretching of the skin. There's a name for it, but it's basically stretching of the skin. So you stretch basically this part and you stretch it, you pull it over the tip of the penis. Now, of course, the more circumcised your penis is, the more hard it is. If there's no movement with the skin, then it's going to be harder, and it's going to take a longer time to achieve this. But you can get it done surgically if you really wish to get uncircumcised penis, to get the foreskin back. And in my opinion, it is worth it. So if you got circumcised, and even if you got circumcised because of deformity or some kind of pain when you were a child or something like that, you can get it back, and most likely it won't hurt. Most likely it will not hurt, because foreskin is natural. And once you have the foreskin covering the tip of the penis, then you're going to get the layers of skin, layers, of the sensitivity around the penis. You're going to get this back. Okay, it might take, years, but you're going to get it back. And what you need to do for people, because I've read a little bit about this online, what I've heard is that there are some people out there that, because I got a vasectomy a while ago, so I was researching a lot about this, and I've heard that a lot of people that have foreskin, and they have an uncircumcised penis, some of them have a hard time pulling back, and it's very, very painful for them. So my suggestion for those people that have a really hard time is do it slowly. You have to pull it back. You have to clean it every so often. I would suggest at least once a day to clean it, and go all the way back and clean everything. If you need to, take a Q-tip or take something and clean around the whole area at least once a day. Now, I asked a friend of mine who has ex-friend, about circumcision. He is Jewish, and he has a circumcised penis. So we one day we started talking about that, and I asked him like what is the reason for this? And he didn't really know the reason. He just told me that it keeps the penis clean. And in a way, that's kind of true because some people don't keep their penis clean, from what I was told. And there are a lot of, especially when you're eating cooked foods and you're eating animal foods, you can get a lot of, as they call underneath the foreskin, you can get a lot of cheese. And what cheese is basically is mucus. Mucus. That's all it is. And of course, the more mucus you have there, and of course, if you do clean it every day, but you still have mucus there, you're eating a lot of foods that we shouldn't be eating. It should actually be clean underneath. You should have to only wash it probably once every week, if that, like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. But we don't live in a perfect world, and we don't eat always properly, so we need to clean it, as often as we can underneath. Just be careful not to use harsh chemicals or anything. Like water is fine. If you're eating whole foods and you're eating mostly raw, water is fine. Raw vegan, water is fine. Underneath the foreskin, everywhere, and that is fine. That's about it, everyone. That's my views and opinions on circumcision. 99% of the time, I don't recommend it. I only recommend it again if you have some kind of pain from moving the foreskin or whatever, and if the pain persists for years after year, then yeah, get circumcision, but then you can go back again and get a reversal. So do not get one, and if you do have one, you can get your skin back. Learn about it, research it, and go to